Right now at 10, calm before the storm. Nicole's tracking how wet your Friday commute could get. And a special meeting for Onalaska Common Council, the major deficit they're facing and how the solutions they're considering could impact resident wallets. Plus, not your average sporting event. World champion log rollers, including a hometown star, are set to shine at Pettibone this weekend.
WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us at 10. I'm Ken Kozorowski. We have alert day conditions in just a matter of days, and you've got a potentially very wet commute coming up on this Friday morning. Nicole, you've been tracking a lot of radar activity tonight.
Yes, there is a lot more rain coming for Friday morning, but for now we're still looking at a couple more thunderstorms continuing to make their way throughout the area. Still, we're tracking them. Earlier this evening, the warning actually just got taken off of this thunderstorm as it's starting to weaken quite rapidly now as it starts to enter a little bit closer to La Crosse. There were reports of 1.5-inch hailstones within this cell, but now they're looking closer to a nickel, which is just under an inch. So still some significant hail sizes still falling in that thunderstorm, but definitely under that severe level now. Looking like it's going to continue to follow just near that Mississippi River Valley, so maybe some heavy rain and some smaller hail on the way there. Otherwise, still tracking some lighter thunderstorms again, going into northern Jackson County and through southern Clark County as well. A lot of this activity should start to finish up now in the next few hours, but after that, we're really going to shift our focus to some heavy morning rain that we have coming through that will likely affect your morning commute. Warmer and humid throughout most of the afternoon tomorrow, and then a dangerously hot weekend coming up. Because of that, 2 alert days in a row for both Saturday and Sunday, with heat indices getting close to 100 degrees. So very warm out there, very hot out there. Actually, I have more details on that heat coming up in a little bit.
Sounds good. Thanks, Nicole. And as they've been forecasting for days, it's going to be a hot weekend in western Wisconsin. So here's some quick reminders on how to stay safe while enjoying the upcoming weekend. Now, the National Weather Service has issued that extreme heat watch for Saturday afternoon and through Sunday evening with those very high heat indices, and that creates a high risk for people to develop heat-related illnesses. A local expert in health says heat-related illnesses can usually be prevented.
Drinking water or sports drink, especially when it's this hot, wearing loose-fitting clothing, and then really staying inside if we can, or if we're doing work or activity outside, sticking to those cooler parts of the day.
If you don't have access to space with air conditioning, Anderson recommends visiting public spaces like libraries and malls to cool off. And WSDOT already warning drivers about possible pavement buckling due to the heat. The agency's reminders: buckle up and keep focused on the road, watch for slowing traffic and crews fixing any damaged pavement. And if a pavement issue is serious, call 911. Developing news in the Iran-Israel conflict tonight as President Trump considers whether to join Israel in its offensive against Iran. The White House offered a new time frame for when he could make a decision. CBS News correspondent Erica Brown reports from the White House.
The White House says President Trump will decide within the next 2 weeks whether he will order U.S. forces to strike Iran. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt read a direct quote from the president this afternoon.
Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks.
Multiple sources tell CBS News President Trump thinks disabling Fordow, Iran's most secure nuclear site some 300 feet beneath a mountain, is necessary because of the risk of Iran producing nuclear weapons.
It is a fact, and the United States government maintains this fact, that Iran has never been closer to obtaining a nuclear weapon.
On Wednesday, a senior intelligence source and a Defense Department official told CBS News the president approved attack plans on Iran, but has not made a final decision on whether to move forward. 1 week into the conflict, casualties continue to rise on both sides. Thursday, an Iranian airstrike hit a hospital in southern Israel, injuring dozens, and a large number of Israelis were hurt in a missile attack on high-rise buildings outside Tel Aviv.
They're targeting civilians because they're a criminal regime. They're the arch terrorists of the world. They want to have nuclear terrorism, which will put the entire world under nuclear blackmail, and they would use these weapons.
Israel launched airstrikes it said neutralized a nuclear reactor it claims was created to build a nuclear bomb. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
So what would U.S. involvement look like if the president decides to get involved? Well, we asked retired U.S. Army Colonel Gerald Font.
There would be little benefit for us to do boots on the ground in Iran. However, pre-positioning other additional forces to include soldiers, sailors, Air Force, and Marine personnel in the region to protect U.S. interests, i.e. bases that we currently occupy, et cetera, would be a possibility.
A YouGov poll shows that most Americans don't want to get involved in the conflict. 60% don't think the U.S. military should be used. 16% support U.S. forces being used, and 24% unsure. The conflict is now impacting gas prices. AAA says the national average for a gallon of regular $3.19. That is up 7 cents from a week ago. The Hickson Summer Trail Series run hosted their second event tonight at the Lower Hickson Trails. Runners tackling a challenging 4-mile loop. Participants tested their training, connected with the local running community, and enjoyed post-race snacks and drinks. For just $25, the event, hosted by Aura Trails, offered a perfect chance to push limits, celebrate local trails, and give back to the community.
Aura Trails use the funds in a lot of ways to improve our outdoor recreation access in our community. They do a ton of work to maintain all the trails that we're running on today, which is part of the reason we feel obligated to, help give back to that, because we all appreciate it, and it's a way to kind of come together and show that is by coming together, running, and then also donating back to the people that do all the work.
The next run in the series will be July 17th, starting at 6 p.m. The La Crosse area commemorating Juneteenth today. The federal holiday marks the end of slavery in the U.S. in 1865. La Crosse Mayor Shondell Washington Spivey honored the day with a proclamation and a flag raising over at City Hall.
Being here today to celebrate Juneteenth as the first black mayor is very monumental. I think it means a lot to this community to recognize how far we've come as a community. And so I think that's important to acknowledge. And then additionally, being able to raise the flag, for me personally, means a lot.
Juneteenth became a federal holiday in 2021. A Rochester man is charged with murdering his ex-girlfriend. Craig Haymeister is accused of killing 36-year-old Melissa Hunt. Hunt was found severely injured in West Newton Wednesday, and she died at the hospital. Haymeister faces 2 counts of second-degree murder and 1 count of manslaughter. And a trial is set for the La Crosse man accused of trying to kill his ex-girlfriend. Deontay Booth allegedly shot his ex in the face on May 15th. Jury selection set to begin September 8th. Booth faces 4 charges, including attempted first-degree intentional homicide. Police are investigating another crime at the home where former Minnesota State Representative Melissa Hortman was murdered, this time a break-in. Police say someone pried off plywood covering a rear window at the Brooklyn Park home. Hortman and her husband were shot and killed Saturday morning. The family says nothing was stolen, but neighbors are outraged.
Whoever it was that broke in has no respect for the deceased couple that lived here.
It's horrible. I think it's really horrible. It's hard to put words to it.
Governor Tim Walz and his wife joined a candlelight vigil for Hortman at the state capitol yesterday. $388,000. That's the budget deficit facing the city of Onalaska next year. Council members tonight deciding how to fix it in a special meeting. Discussions focused on rising costs, staffing issues, and potential solutions like new fees or service cuts to the aquatic center or library. Now, the council did not and could not make any final decisions tonight. Instead, they're allowing the fire chief to apply for a grant that would cover 75% of costs related to hiring 6 more firefighters. They're also prioritizing plans for a municipal vehicle registration fee and a fire protection fee that would charge each household. Happening around the state, Wisconsin Senate Republicans have passed several bills with one thing missing in most of them: money. One bill creates a grant program for schools to improve building safety. Another requires the state technical college system to offer grants to schools who offer EMS training courses. But they don't have any funding in the legislation. Republicans say previous governor partial vetoes have eroded their trust, but if the governor signs these bills as they are, they'll approve the funding later. Democrats proposed amendments that attached funding to these bills, and Republicans rejected them.
So it's our job as a legislature to create new policy. And when we have a governor who's just going to arbitrarily try change the intent of the legislature, we're not going to fund that policy.
Why should we pretend and deceive the people of Wisconsin that we're doing good things when in fact they'll never see the result.
As for state budget talks, the Joint Finance Committee canceled its meeting today, which was supposed to address school funding and tax cuts. Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan's jury trial is delayed indefinitely. That's according to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Dugan is accused of helping a man evade immigration agents at the county courthouse. A federal grand jury indicted Dugan, and she pleaded not guilty in May. Today is the longest day of bridge. The American Bridge League and Alzheimer's Association host the event each year. And every game at the Harry J. Olson Senior Center costs $6, with the proceeds going toward Alzheimer's research. Organizers say it's meant to symbolize the challenge of living with the disease.
Alzheimer's is a disease of the mind here. And we would like to have people use their mind, exercise it, just like people would do their physical, exercise. We want to do mental exercise, play bridge.
Players have brought in more than $9 million over the last 10 years. Athletes are preparing for the 25th annual Lacrosse Open Log Rolling Tournament. It kicks off Saturday at Pettibone Park, and it features some of the world's top rollers, including defending champions Marcus Hynek and Holman native Livy Papadopoulos.
Log rolling is the sport of all sports because it requires all forms of athleticism, strength, speed, endurance, agility, power, and skill. So you're going to want to come on down and follow along on the bracket.
The winner of this year's pro event will walk away with a $5,000 prize. Adaptive water skiing making waves in lacrosse. The River City Water Ski Show team was out at Airport Beach teaching people with disabilities how to ski. The free lessons are limited to 6 participants each, with another adaptive ski day planned for August.
I like the beach and lakeside stuff, and I love the water. It's so much fun to go in it and do activities in the water.
Volunteers are still needed for future events. Well, another setback for SpaceX, the Fireball that's the result of a latest test run. Next.
Out with the old and in with the deals, only at Wesco Home. It's our inventory clearance event with up to 50% off furniture. It's the perfect time to refresh your space and save big. Your home, your style, your savings, your Wesco. And tell them Peyton sent you.
It's summertime, and the Ford lineup is ready to step into the spotlight. Lights, summer, action. Get great deals on your favorite Ford trucks. Then take advantage of the season. From the built Ford Tough F-150 to the 2024 North American Truck of the Year Super Duty, your local Northland Ford dealers are rolling out the red carpet with exclusive deals on America's best-selling trucks. Get behind the wheel of a new Ford today. Don't wait. Last chance to get employee pricing plus more than $11,000 in total savings on a new 2025 F-150. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
When Arby's says Euros, you say 2 for $7. Euros. 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 Louder. Arby's. We have the meat.
I did know that back pain, foot pain come along with the job of waiting tables, but since getting the arch supports from the Good Feet store, I have had no pain. I'm more positive. It's like opening up a whole new life, like sunshine coming on.
See how we can help you too at the Good Feet store.
Out with the old and in with the deals, only at Wesco Home. It's our inventory clearance event with up to 50% off bedroom sets and mattresses. It's the perfect time to refresh your space and save big. Your home, your style, your savings, your Wesco. And tell them Peyton sent you.
SpaceX has suffered another setback, this time in spectacular fashion. A SpaceX Starship exploded in a huge fireball last night, just minutes before a test firing of its engine in Texas. Elon Musk's company said on social media it experienced a, quote, major anomaly. It's the latest mishap for SpaceX. In May, a Starship test flight ended abruptly when the rocket spun out of control and broke up, sending debris into the Indian Ocean.
SpaceX has had a real string of these failures, and it's raising questions about whether or not they will be ready to supply the lander, the moon lander that NASA's ordered, to put astronauts on the moon in just about 2 to 3 years.
SpaceX said no one was hurt in the latest incident and there are no hazards to residents in the surrounding communities. A new strain of coronavirus has arrived in the United States. Nimbus has spread in many parts of the world. Dubbed razor blade throat. Symptoms include a painful sore throat and other COVID symptoms like fever and shortness of breath. It's been identified as the cause of COVID-19 resurgence in China and several other Asian countries. The CDC says Nimbus represented about 1/3 of new COVID cases as of June 7th. Well, apparently the Florida Panthers really like to party. The team has damaged the Stanley Cup after beating the Edmonton Oilers. The players appear to have cracked the rim of the cup. The Hockey Hall of Fame planned to have it repaired ahead of the Panthers' celebration parade coming up on Sunday. We'll have more news ahead, but first.
We have a very warm weekend ahead of us with 2 alert days in a row for both Saturday and Sunday. I'll have all the details on the heat and when we're thinking it's going to leave coming up right after the break.
I do like knowing the person that's sitting across from my desk. I've formed a lot of relationships over the years based on trust. When I see the look on a member's face, when I say, yes, this loan is good, you're good to go, it makes me happy. To me, being the team you can trust is honesty. When you do a loan with me at Firefighters Credit Union, like everything we do, it's not about the car, it's about you.
'Cause everybody's welcome at Firefighters Credit Union.
The chips that you like are not on sale this week, so we're gonna have to skip those. Sorry, bud.
Aww. Hi, we're at Woodman's. I'm Clint. I'm Phil. At Woodman's, you don't need a flyer to find hot deals. With our everyday low prices and huge selection, you can find anything you're looking for. And still save big time on your whole grocery bill.
So I can get the groceries I want and save money? Looks like your chips are back on the list.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
It's Woodman's.
A home you love. A business that endures. It takes your vision, your hard work, and your dedication to bring them to life. The right tools help. Case IH truly understands your vision and what you need to achieve it. That's why we build the equipment, the local dealer and service network, and the data and tech you want today and tomorrow. Because we don't just build our equipment to work. We built it to work for you.
Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships, now including La Crosse and Richland Center.
At Maury's, we believe in being more than an auto dealership. We believe in celebrating change when life happens and new adventures begin, in affecting it for good in our communities where we're called to serve, because change can be good. And as your life changes, we'll be there for you, whether you're buying, servicing, or selling. And right now, Maury's is buying cars daily. Bring your vehicle with the title and we'll issue you a check within 30 minutes. Maury's, more than an auto dealership. Let's move forward together.
Look, a perfect sandwich symphony. Nothing could be better. Okay, it just got better.
Mix and match a Quarter Pounder with cheese, a Big Mac, or other favorites. Get any 2 for $7.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Dutch Boy. It's only paint. It's only paint that goes on easy with a super smooth finish. It's only paint that will help you become TV's hottest writer, where one day you'll meet this guy who starred in that thing. So yeah, it's only paint. Only durable, dependable, change your life Dutch Boy paint.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
We got to feel a little bit of that warm up today, but we're going to feel it even more as we go into tomorrow ahead of the heat that is coming in for this weekend. Actually feeling it when you're waking up in the morning. A little bit warm out there with our lows, at least a little bit warmer than we have been. 67 for your low in La Crosse, 65 in Eau Claire. Still tracking some isolated storms, mainly along I-94 as we go into this evening, but they should continue to lessen and weaken a little bit until we get into the morning hours, and that's when we'll see that heavy rainfall start to move in. Here's the look at tomorrow's highs. Again, warm and humid out there, a little bit breezy. We'll have the winds blowing out of the south, so that's going to be aiding in those warmer temperatures coming in, and we'll also have some additional sunshine poking through once tomorrow's morning's rain moves out. All of that aiding in these nice temperatures. 88 for your high in La Crosse, 86 in Eau Claire, one of our warmer days so far, just in time for the first day of astronomical summer, and then we're going to warm up even more as we go into the weekend. Definitely going to start summer off with a scorcher. Here's those rain showers, though, that we have coming in fairly early on in the morning hours. Still continuing to see those isolated thunderstorms pop up mainly near and along I-94 as we go throughout the rest of the night, but they'll continue to move on out here over the next few hours, and then all of our attention really shifting off to the west. We'll start to see some showers moving in mainly south of I-94 sometime around 5 in the morning, so likely affecting most of our morning commutes. As it continues to move on out, we'll still see light to moderate showers across areas south of I-94, but the heaviest stuff really staying west of the Mississippi I-20 and south of I-90. That's where we're going to see those heaviest rain totals. Maybe the potential for some hail within that as well, but the severity risk is looking fairly low for now. A lot of those showers continue to move on out, still tracking a few lighter ones lingering around 8 in the morning, but after 9, 10 in the morning tomorrow, a lot of that activity should be out. And then there's that peaks of sunshine going into the afternoon hours, really aiding in those temperatures getting up into the upper 80s. So here's a look at the rainfall going into tomorrow morning again, mainly seeing those measurable amounts south of I-94, but that heaviest stuff staying off to our southwest. Potential for it to still shift a little bit further to the north, so northeastern Iowa and southeastern Minnesota. Maybe want to be on the lookout for those heavier amounts because we could be seeing up to an inch, if not a little bit more, in the heaviest of it. And then after that, all of our attention shifting towards the weekend. Here's your highs for Saturday: 97 in both La Crosse and Eau Claire, hot, humid, and breezy out there. Still seeing those winds blowing out of the south. Sunday's low is definitely going to be something to talk about. Look at this. This is as low as we're expecting to get as we go into Sunday morning. 79 for your low in La Crosse, 78 in Eau Claire. Absurdly warm at every point throughout the day and night. Going into Sunday's highs then, staying in the mid-90s still for those highs. And then once you add that humidity onto it, it really feels much warmer than that. Here's that heat index going into Saturday. This is what it's going to feel like on your skin. Close to 105, if not a little bit warmer than that at the peak heating of the day, sometime in the later afternoon hours. Almost exactly the same going into Sunday. We'll feel a slight cool down. It's weird to call it a cool down though going into Monday, because it still could possibly feel close to 90, if not close to 100 as we go into the afternoon hours. But it will be an improvement nonetheless. And then going into Tuesday, much better of an improvement, getting back into the upper 70s, maybe a couple 80s out there. But the main story at that point will really be the heavy rain that we have coming in. Chance of rain and thunderstorms every single day next week. Possibility for some places to get well over 3 inches throughout the entirety of the week. So it's a little bit wet, but it will be cooler, at least a lot better than the 90s for this weekend.
Yeah, but for the weekend, great way to put it, absurdly warm.
Absurdly warm, scorcher, yeah.
Absolutely. Nicole, thank you. Coming up next in sports, the Twins aiming to snap a 6-game losing skid, plus the Brew Crew with hopes of salvaging a series split against the top team in the division. Jacob is next.
All the financial benefits are awesome. And then on top of that, it's green energy.
We have project managers that will walk you through the process, keep you informed along the way, and make sure that the communication is the best that it can be.
The 30% solar tax credit could end in 2025. If you want to install solar on your residential or commercial property and receive this tax credit, call 608-780-2347 to get solar and get saving with Olson Solar Energy today.
Ryan wants to get every new device that's smart. I'm wondering, how can the internet handle all of this?
We have Spectrum Internet. We use it for everything. Homework, remote work from home, doing research for trips.
Spectrum Internet allows us to do things faster and more conveniently.
I feel like that's a win-win for everybody.
Fast, reliable internet starting at $30 a month, backed by the Spectrum commitment to keep you connected.
This river wasn't dammed in a day, and GMC trucks weren't built overnight. Like every American achievement, they are a result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering and the ambition to always move this country forward.
Or get 0% APR plus $2,600 total value on this Sierra 1500 model.
Visit your best choice GMC dealer today.
Red, white, and new. It's time to refresh your space for less at the King Furniture Pre-4th of July Savings Event. Save up to 50% on an entire room of beautiful new furniture. Living rooms, bedrooms, dining, you name it. Find mattress closeout deals on overstocked inventory and special factory closeout Lazy Boy recliners at prices too good to sit out. Plus, when you trade in your old furniture, get a discount on new. We'll even deliver and haul away for free. It's the King Furniture Pre-4th of July Savings Event going on now.
Covering all the exciting action from your community. Here's News 8 Now Sports with Jacob Lenzendorf.
Well, some rain changed the 3-game series between the top teams in the NL Central to just 2. Brewers going for a split against the Cubs at Wrigley. Milwaukee up 1 in the first inning until Pete Crow Armstrong becomes the fastest player in Cubs history to knock out 20 homers and steal 20 bases, his second big fly of this series. But speaking of home runs, the Brewers showing off the power as well. Rhys Hoskins almost sends one out to Waveland Avenue with that shot to left. Later in the inning, Caleb Durbin up, and the Illinois native is going to tag Jameson Taillon as that one has enough to exit the yard and give the Crew a 4-2 advantage. Bottom of the order was fantastic today for Milwaukee. Isaac Collins squaring one up in the 5th to give the Brewers a 5-run lead. And that was a big hit because the Cubs stormed back, but with the winning run at the plate, Trevor McGill gets Seiya Suzuki to roll into a double play, and the Brewers win 8-7.
Just proud of our guys. You know, they battled and got out to a good lead. Swing the bat's great today with authority, a lot of hard contacts, and great opportunity for our young guys to then face the great Cubs team coming back and breathing down our necks right to the very end.
Twins in desperate need of a win, trying to avoid dropping 7 straight. First batter of the game, Byron Buxton, starts things off with a bang. Solo shot to left. Reds would jump in front, but then Cody Clemens gets all of that baseball. Deep shot down the line, and that is fair and gone. And then the very next pitch, it's Buxton again, not wasting any time, jumping on that first pitch he sees and launching one to left, and that is another souvenir. Minnesota gets off the schneid as they take this one 12-5. Twins-Brewers 3-game series starts tomorrow. Loggers continuing their road trip, taking on Rochester. Mateo Gray gets the scoring started, sending one down the line in right. Kedron Kinsey avoids the tag and scores. Then in the second inning, R.J. Hamilton, who's been swinging a hot bat since he rejoined the Loggers, delivers again. That's a fair ball, and the Lumbermen go up 3. Then tie game in the 9th. His name is Eli Small, but it's a big hit for the Kentucky product. That brings in a couple. Lacrosse will shut the door in the 9th, and the Loggers get the 8-5 victory. The Steam looking to continue their hot hitting after scoring 19 runs last night, taking on Mankato. First inning, Habaneros strike. Number 99, Marley Luvar makes it 3-0. And then Emma Lee at the dish in the 4th. She makes it 5-0 visitors with a shot off the wall. But Lacrosse was responding in their half of the frame. Avery Makarevich also almost exits the yard. That puts the hosts on the board. Next batter, Callie Janik. And she'll bring in Makarevich as that one ricochets off the glove of the third baseman. Habaneros put up 6 in the following inning, and they win this one 12-3. Well, the Packers releasing their training camp schedule today to the public, and the fun is set to get started on Wednesday, July 23rd at 10:30 on Ray Nitschke Field. Another date to note, family night at Lambeau Field, August 2nd, which is expected to bring in about 80,000 fans this year, marking Green Bay's 80th training camp. And who saw this coming in the NBA Finals Game 6? The Pacers send the series back to Oklahoma City in convincing fashion, winning by 17. Complete team effort tonight. 6 players in double figures. Game 7 Sunday at 7. And the U.S. men's national team in their second group stage match in the CONCACAF Gold Cup. Americans get the result they wanted, defeating Saudi Arabia 1-0 thanks to that goal by Chris Richards off the free kick. That locks up a spot in the knockout stages. The U.S. will finish up group play on Sunday against Haiti. We were watching it back there, Ken. Not the most impressive showing by the U.S., but
correct.
Got the win. Got to play better though.
Absolutely, and not a lot of stars on this roster for the Gold Cup, so they're having to make do. Shout out though to the Pacers. They were up 30,
was an impressive showing.
Up 30 at one point, and the Thunder just did not have a shot at all in that game. So.
The Thunder won the last quarter by 13, so it looked a little closer than it actually was.
It looked a little bit better.
Game 7, there we go.
Anything can happen in that Game 7.
Who knows?
It's going to be something.
2 best words in sports.
Thanks, Jacob. We got more news right after this.
You're thinking about new windows and doors. I've been thinking about new windows and doors for over 40 years. You're thinking about the best window at the best price. I'm thinking about the best window at the best price for you. The best quality installed by professional installers at a fair price. If you're planning new windows and doors, you owe it to yourself to contact the Board Store Home Improvements for a prompt free estimate. You'll be glad you did. Contact us today.
We see you out there building a life you love, knowing that when inspiration strikes, nothing should get in your way. At Blaine's, we're here to help with everything you need to make it happen at prices that make it possible. Like $5 off assorted Roundup multi-use pump sprayers, 20% off signature licensed auto accessories. Rewards members save 25%. And new at Blaine's, AgriMaster pelleted pine bedding, just $5.99 a bag. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, in original.
It's summertime, and the Ford lineup is ready to step into the spotlight. Lights, summer, action. Get great deals on your favorite Ford trucks. Then, take advantage of the season. From the built Ford Tough F-150 to the 2024 North American Truck of the Year Super Duty, your local Northland Ford dealers are rolling out the red carpet with exclusive deals on America's best-selling trucks. Get behind the wheel of a new Ford today. Don't wait. Last chance to get employee pricing, plus more than $11,000 in total savings on a new 2025 F-150. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Your Touchstone Energy Cooperative knows safety is the backbone of reliability. To deliver the power you need means doing things right, so we can continue to provide reliable energy and peace of mind, because safety runs through everything we do. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, your source for power and information.
Find comfort in your world in a stressless recliner. Take a time out, have a seat, and enjoy a special offer from Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota. Save in an instant on stressless furniture at Drury's in Fountain. Right now, get a $100 instant rebate for every $1,000 you spend on any qualifying stressless recliner, sofa, or sectional, designed with the world's most innovative comfort features. Don't wait. It's time for stressless. On sale now at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota.
A Minnesota teen is getting a jump start on his career. He's opening his own car wash at the age of 19. Tanner Stokes started plans on the $8 million project a year and a half ago with a business partner. And with state-of-the-art technology, the car wash in Duluth can wash more than 100 cars an hour. Tanner's Express Car Wash set to open in January. Congrats to the entrepreneur. We'll have one final look at your morning forecast right after this.
Up to 60% off list at the 4th of July blowout at Slumberland Furniture. 6 select recliners, just $4.99 each. Get an Ashley sofa for just $3.49. The 4th of July blowout ends soon.
Hey Nick, want your usual?
Yeah, please.
How's your day going?
Oh, pretty good. Air conditioning went out at the house, and I got some guys coming over to fix it.
Nothing that GNT can't take your mind off of, right?
Oh, absolutely, man. I can always depend on GNT to put my mind at ease.
Especially when I make them, eh?
Well, I'm talking about GNT heating and air conditioning. They have never let me down.
Call GNT for the best heating and air conditioning guaranteed.
Maybe I should switch to GNT.
It's the Hy-Vee Mega Produce Sale, Thursday through Sunday. Get candied cantaloupe, just $1.99. Avocados, just 69 cents. Sweet corn, 4 for $1. Roma tomatoes, 88 cents a pound. Watermelon, just $3.99. Save on strawberries, russet potatoes, and more. Plus, get pre-cut produce. Get the best produce at the lowest prices Thursday through Sunday during the biggest produce sale of the year, only at Hy-Vee.
Summer's officially here, and Fleet Farm's ready to go with unbeatable outdoor deals. Stock up on 24 packs of Fleet Farm bottled water. On sale now, just 2 for $5. Get 20 pounds of Bear Mountain barbecue pellets for $7.99 a bag. And spruce up your yard with bags of Superior Weed and Feed for just $19.99. Whether you're grilling or chilling, get what you need at the best prices guaranteed this summer at Fleet Farm. And check out all our deals at fleetfarm.com.
Congressman Derek Van Orden just voted for President Trump's working family tax cuts that mean higher wages and lower taxes for working families. No tax on tips and no tax on overtime. Van Orden voted to cut taxes 15%, giving working families $10,000 more every year. And by ending free health care benefits for illegals, Trump and Van Orden will expand health savings accounts for Americans. That means greater choice in your health care. Thank Derek Van Orden for supporting Trump's working family tax cuts.
Up to 60% off list at Slumberland. Get this limited time deal, a Sealy Queen mattress starting at just $2.99. No one sells Sealy for less. Plus our 365-night sleep guarantee. only at Slumberland.
Still tracking a couple thunderstorms moving through the area now. They're all under any severe risk. There is one special weather statement now tracking just through Clark County, but it's starting to move on out. Just some small hail in that one. Otherwise, some heavy rain possibly going to skirt just past South La Crosse. We'll see though, maybe seeing some heavy rain out there, but it's going to be moving pretty quick other way. Everyone will be seeing a chance to see some rain though going into our morning commute. So have those umbrellas ready, maybe a nice little raincoat because it could get heavy for some and then it gets hot.
It sure does. All right, thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.